A storm raged for 2 million years. 2/3 of all life on Earth vanished. This isn't a myth. It really happened. Scientists call it the Carnian pluvial episode. Around 230 million years ago, the supercontinent Pangaea cracked open at dozens of points. Thousands of supervolcanoes erupted simultaneously. Carbon dioxide levels spiked to 10 times today's levels. The atmosphere became a scorching, molten lid. Oceans boiled, then rained back down over and over, for 2 million years. The sun barely shone. Thick clouds blocked its rays. Land temperatures soared above 50 degrees Celsius. Plants rotted from the roots. Soil turned to flowing mud. Rivers disappeared, because everywhere was a river. Top predators like Postosuchus, who had ruled the earth for tens of millions of years, were uprooted. Plants died. Herbivores followed. Finally, carnivores starved to death. The ecological chain collapsed like dominoes, starting at the bottom. And the dinosaurs? Before this disaster, they were just small, half-meter-long creatures, constantly chased by every predator around. But when the 2-million-year reign finally stopped, dinosaurs casually stepped into the throne. So dinosaurs didn't rise because they were strong, they rose because the heavens favored them. Yet, over 160 million years, they proved one thing. Sometimes survival isn't about being the strongest. It's about being the least conspicuous. The truly terrifying thing about this reign? Not that it killed so many, but that no one knows why it stopped exactly after 2 million years. You're probably wondering, how does a reign like this just stop? The truth is, it wasn't a single continuous downpour. Chinese scientists published a study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. They discovered the storm came in 4 waves, each triggered by a new volcanic eruption. Volcano erupts, water vapor piles up, rain pours. One wave stops, the next begins. It was like someone kept turning a cosmic sprinkler on and off, repeating for 2 million years. And this rain wasn't clean. Sulfur from the volcanic ash mixed into the water, forming diluted acid that fell from the sky. The oceans suffered first. Seawater acidified rapidly. Coral reefs dissolved like eggshells in vinegar. Sea lilies and crinoids, marine giants for hundreds of millions of years, disappeared in vast swaths. Scientists estimate that over a third of marine species went extinct in this episode. To put that in perspective, the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs 66 million years ago wiped out 75% of marine species. This storm alone destroyed a third of them. One rain, the power of half an asteroid. But the real game changer wasn't in the oceans, it was on land. Remember the super desert at the center of Pangaea, where nothing had grown for tens of millions of years? The rain turned it into a swamp. Low-growing, drought-tolerant plants rotted in the mud. In their place, a new green force emerged, conifer forests, the ancestors of modern pines and cypresses. These trees shot up fast, tall and hard, with needle-like leaves that could pierce your hand. For the old rulers, Postosuchus and Dicynodonts, it was a death sentence. Their jaws and digestive systems had evolved for low-lying, drought-tolerant plants. Now, the menu changed. The trees were too high. The needles too tough. They couldn't chew. They couldn't digest. They starved. This predator needed no teeth, no claws. All it needed was time. Day after day. Year after year. The 2 most successful rulers of the planet quietly starved in the wet rainforest. So why did dinosaurs survive? Here's the explosive truth, it wasn't because they were strong. It was because they were weak. Weak enough to depend on nothing from the old world. Weak enough to fear losing nothing. When the new world arrived, others were weighed down by the baggage of the old. Dinosaurs had empty hands, light and fast. And their bodies came pre-equipped with 3 insane advantages. 1 air sac lungs. Post-rain air was hot, wet, and low in oxygen. Most animals collapsed after a few steps. Dinosaurs had lungs like modern birds, one-way airflow, doubling oxygen efficiency. While others gasped, dinosaurs were jogging. 2 upright legs. Crocodiles dragged their bellies on the ground. Dinosaurs' legs were directly under their bodies, like ours. In muddy swamps, this was the difference between an off-road SUV and a wheelbarrow. 3 insane growth speed. In a world where growing slow meant death, dinosaurs shot from fist-sized hatchlings to hundreds of kilos monsters in just a few years, skipping the most vulnerable juvenile stage. 3 stacked advantages. Dinosaurs were the weakest at birth, but with maxed-out potential. When the old order collapsed, every latent trait activated simultaneously. A joint study by British and Chinese scientists confirmed this. After the Carnian pluvial episode, dinosaur track fossils exploded across global strata, representing over 90% of land animal footprints. From food chain snacks to absolute rulers in just a few million years. But the rain reshaped more than just dinosaurs. The earliest turtle fossils appear in this period. New lakes and swamps gave them natural refuges. Crocodile ancestors also carved out niches that persist today. And the most overlooked survivors? Tiny, mouse-sized creatures hiding in mud burrows, eating insects. No one noticed them. Yet, 66 million years later, they dominated the Earth. These tiny survivors were the earliest mammals. One eventually learned to walk upright, build tools, and screens. And now it's reading these words. So if you're alive today, you essentially owe it to a storm 230 million years ago. But Earth isn't a motivational poster. Postosuchus ruled for tens of millions of years, gone with a rain. Dinosaurs reigned for 160 million years, wiped out by a rock from space. Mammals finally climbed to the top, and now we're fiddling with our own climate. Earth has spent 4.6 billion years sending one message. Nothing is permanent. You only get a temporary lease. Survival isn't about strength today, it's about being faster than the next guy when the ceiling collapses. So next time it rains, listen quietly and ask yourself. If the storm never stopped, who would vanish first? The answer might just send a chill down your spine.